I'm perpetually frustrated and fascinated by people who allow others to dictate how they're going to run their life. By people who say, Andrew, I'd love to do this Nomad Capitalist thing, but you know, like my dad, he just doesn't think it's the right thing to do. Or people who come to me and say, Andrew, I'm the only one out of all my friends. They all think I'm crazy. People literally tell me, I talk to all of my friends, I talk to all of my family, and I can't do it anymore. And I just break down because they don't understand, why are you going to Georgia? Why are you, going to Malaysia? Why are you going to Colombia? Why are you doing these things? Why would you want to do that? Because they don't get it. I remember we had a gentleman a couple years ago who really struggled to do this stuff, to be offshore, to live overseas, to live what was his dream. And I remember the one time when he and I talked, and he called me about his girlfriend they just weren't in sync. And he said, my desire to explore at my age is greater than my desire to stay at home and have throw pillows and to have that life. And we're just not in sync. You've just got to be radically self-aware. You have to be 100% totally honest with yourself. No lying, just here's what I want and here's what I don't want. And I remember rather early on, it became tearful with him realizing it and me realizing it and trying to guide him through this process of you've got to decide what you want to do. And he did decide, only to later fall back into, let me just go over here and do that. So many people are afraid of what their mom's going to say, their dad's going to say, their aunt is going to say, their best friend from college is going to say, their business partner is going to say, and they get held back for that reason. You can't let other people dictate your life, and yet so many people are but I need to do what my mom says because she's always guided me. You've got to be totally dialed in with what you want. And you've got to be totally honest with yourself. Because here's the reality. Your parents aren't going to pay your tax bill because you stayed in California because they wanted you to live down the street from them, even though you wanted to go and have an adventure. Your ex-wife isn't going to listen to the story of the experience that got away after she got tired of watching you run your business. Your friends aren't going to be there, commiserating with you about the adventures that you lost, because the average person just wants to bring you down. The average person doesn't want to strive for excellence. They're happy just to go to the pub on Friday night and Thursday night and Wednesday night and Tuesday night. They're happy just to live in their suburban home. And that's great if that's what they want. And if that's what you want, that's great too. But I'm so frustrated watching people rationalize away the things that they want, rationalizing away having more money, having more freedom, living the kind of life that they want, meeting the kind of people that they want, and being in an environment that fosters them. Because so many of us, by default, are in environments that just bring us down.
Are you really going to give up on your dreams? Are you really going to pay millions of dollars more because you can't live without your brekkie place? Because you can't give up your Avo toast?
If you're successful, you had to make compromises. You had to give up on something to have something better. And if something better is sitting in a Denny's on the weekend with your wife and kids, and that's what you want, then that's great. Then this probably isn't for you. Go watch videos about fly fishing or something that speaks to you, and don't waste your time. No excuses, no rationalizations, just totally honest. Don't be too interested to let go, but not interested enough to commit. Don't be in that mushy middle. You've got to make a decision. And what smacks me across the face is how many times people aren't actually making those decisions themselves. They're doing it because they feel guilty. They're doing it because someone told them something. They're doing it because somebody trained them, you need to listen to this advice, and you need to be conservative, and don't go over there. And you've got to decide. I don't want you to listen to other people. I don't want you to let other people dictate your life.